Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the Reese number 64A. This is basically two pieces of aluminum extrusion and then a piece of vinyl is what this actually is. And this is called here, the 64 it's a 64, which is what this is. It's A for mill aluminum finish. And they call it an Astragal, which means it's going to be used vertically and attached to the edge of a door. Let's take some basic dimensional properties, then we'll talk about exactly where you would see this. An overall width looks like it's about 4 5/8 or so. The aluminum extrusion on the exterior side, just for the sake of showing you what that is, looks like it's about 7/8. The amount of vinyl that you have there looks like it's about 2 7/8. If I were to bring this together, turns out that's 1 11/16. So if I were to bring that together, if this was going to act as the door edge, and again, it's an Astragal, so it's going to be like this. But it can be a door bottom as well. This is what you're looking at. So this is pretty accurate to what it's going to be. So if I were to pull my aluminum up tight, you can roughly see that we're going to come down about a 1/4 inch or so. But I can draw that down. The point being is we can contend with not only a marginally different door thickness, but the need to fill a larger gap. So it looks like we're pushing about 15/16. Turns out this is 2 1/4. Will that fit on 2 1/4? Yeah, it will. Got a 2 1/4 inch thick door, probably going to be in the 7/16 range, maybe 3/8. Yeah, about 7/16. When it's used vertically, it's an Astragal. If you were to use two of them together, we'd probably call it a split Astragal. You can use it as a door bottom, either for an overhead door or obviously a swinging door. You can have this for double acting doors. But the question is, where would you use this and why would you want a door bottom or an Astragal that would slap over the edge of the door like this? Let's talk about that right now. If you've not hit subscribe yet, we would very much appreciate if you did, and hopefully you're enjoying this video. Now, let's get back to it. So as an Astragal, the times that I have seen this used is when someone needs to fill an unusual gap between two doors. There have been instances where doors were just made too small, so I've seen this used literally as a band-aid to close off the distance between a couple of doors. I've also seen these used by design in double-acting hollow metal door applications where they specifically wanted the double-acting doors to do their thing, go in and out in a pair of them, but when the doors came to center, they wanted there to be some modicum of a seal happening, some sort of close-off, for either closing off the gap between the two doors, mostly for line of sight, is what I've seen. You don't want people to see in between the doors because a pair of square edge doors is going to have a larger than average gap. But also it's just that they literally do want to have some sort of a seal between the doors. Weather stripping double acting doors is not truly possible in every sense. So this, how much this actually seals seals the entire opening is not complete by any stretch of the imagination. But it will close off and give you an idea that there is a seal that's happening there. Very unusual to see it as an Astragal, though, I must admit. And when I see these, I'll see them as door bottoms. Why as door bottoms? Well, because you can, as we just demonstrated, tailor how much gap that you're going to fill. Some people just really like the concept of having this large bulb slide over something. There is instances where people want to cap the bottom of the door, but it's an unusual thickness. It's 2-inch, but they wanted something U-shaped. Well, there aren't any U-shaped door bottoms that will do that job, so you use a type like this that you can really tailor what sort of gap that you're dealing with. Very unusual for us to sell these, admittedly, but nonetheless they do fit those types of requirements that are unusual to begin with. The downside of this item, other than the fact that it's very uncommon, meaning people aren't aware of it, when I think it's a good solution for those unusual door thickness applications. But the downside really is that the fact that this is vinyl. I would prefer this to be polyurethane from Reese. They do a lot with polyurethane. Vinyl is the least desirable of all inserts, whether it be vinyl or silicone or neoprene or polyurethane or any other variants. Vinyl is going to break down with extreme temperature, absolutely with exposure to ultraviolet. Mildew, fungus, bacteria will grow on it. It's not abrasion resistant, where the other end of the spectrum, polyurethane, that Reese is a champion of, is none of that. So if it's going to be used as a door bottom, it's really going to be making contact with, at a minimum, the threshold that's going to be there. And again, the times I've seen this used, it's when there's a large gap to install. I remember a job 28 years ago where there were a pair of doors ordered for a funeral home, double acting, and the gap between the two doors was excessive. And, well, you want to order new doors? Oh gosh, what would that cost? Okay, so we'll pass on that. And I said, well, you know what you could do? You could put one of these on each door and it will close it off. And the client loved it. Worked perfectly. And in fact, he later said, you know, if I ever did that pair of doors again, I would order it that way, because I like that seal coming together and closing it off, is the bottom line. You're not going to get a tremendous amount of contact between a pair of these double acting, because those doors are moving with force in and out of the opening. So you don't really want them crashing into each other. So it's really a requirement to detail exactly how far you pull that back. But that is its inherent design advantage, where you can kind of control how much projection, 1/4 inch down to 7/8 for an 1 3/4 inch thick door, things of that nature. Let's switch to the screen view and let's take a closer look at all of the supporting information. If you've not hit subscribe yet, we would very much appreciate if you did, and hopefully you're enjoying this video. Now let's get back to it. Okay, here's the item that we are looking at on the site. So immediately what you see out of the manufacturer's catalog is this image. This is showing two pieces. Really important to understand, when used as an Astragal on double doors, 2 lengths must be ordered, 1 for each door. So when you buy one, you're going to get one. If you buy 2, you'll get 2, and you can install them in this fashion if that's how you're going to install them. So just be mindful. The way they show it is a pair or 2 each of these installed, but the price is per piece for the listed length. Okay, little close-up view of it there. Typical aluminum extrusion. That might be their extrusion out of their 807 perimeter gasketing that a different insert can slide into. Now what you'll notice is that there's this flap that comes back here, and I can show you on our images photographs of the item itself. Close-up view of that flap. Now what makes that nice is, I notice between aluminum, between the mounting points or the screws, like here and down here, when it's a thinner extrusion of aluminum, you will experience a small amount of bellying between those 2 mounting points. That flap that's on the back helps prevent any intrusion from the backside getting underneath and under that gasketing. Showing you kind of what the aluminum holder looks like, and then me folding it back to give you the idea of what it looks like. There is a major there are major retailers that specify equipment like this, and they use them for door bottoms, is where I always see them. There is the link below this video to what are probably instructions. Oh, no, it's the cut sheet. Forgive me. So they're showing the 64A. They're referring to the different finishes that you can do. Mill. This is all aluminum-based material. Clear anodized, dark bronze, and then gold anodized. Other items that fit in this general product category of Astragals are listed here as well, and these are all examples of what we call a split Astragal. It just means you're putting one on each door. This is obviously not a split Astragal. You wouldn't put one on each door. But these concepts, where they're used in pairs, split Astragals is the industry term that we use. Okay. Now, extended description down here, nothing new except to say that this will come with number 6 by 5/8 long panhead sheet metal screws. If this was the genuine article, there would be holes drilled, probably drilled and slotted in the aluminum holder as you go down the length of it. There is a link below this video to the manufacturer's page right here, where you can click on not only that page and get to all of the Reese products that we sell by means of this horizontal navigation as seen here, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog. I would absolutely recommend you dive into it. There is there are scores of different threshold options in here for you to review. Sometimes when it comes to solving a seal problem or a gasketing problem on a door, it is helpful, in fact, to just simply scroll through a catalog, because you'll see all of the different profiles, and you may find exactly something that's better than what you had initially thought would solve the problem. Case in point would, of course, be the 64A that we're looking at. You might say to yourself, well, that's good, but I don't need it on both doors, and in fact there would. I might mortise it into the edge of the door. Gives you the same concept, but with less of a clear, conspicuous look on the door. You don't see a lot of hardware when you do this. And it's in polyurethane. You might be able to see that there. This is pretty massive when you install it on the doors. Even more petite versions are here. Things of that nature. An interlock version, that's nice. So that catalog that I referred to that we are now in has lots of different solutions. Door sweeps and saddles that we scrolled past. These are automatic door bottoms. They also have a comprehensive offering of STC rated material. So if you have an application where you need to really tamp down the sound going through an opening, they list the products here that they have for the different STC ratings here. Okay, let's wrap up this video on camera. It would be nice to mention in conclusion that company Reese is a very simple, straightforward, no-nonsense, friendly, prompt, reliable, predictable company to buy weather stripping from. Industry-leading lead times. They have the shortest lead times in general overall. They have a minimum order, as does practically every manufacturer of weather stripping. But if you meet that, nobody really can get the product out the door quicker than Reese. And I've been saying those words for a decade, and it remains true. I am a fan of theirs because their extrusions always seem to be heavier, therefore thicker, heavier duty. And also, if you're doing oil-rubbed bronze hardware, in my opinion, the only manufacturer you should consider is Reese, because their D version, their dark bronze over aluminum, is the most faithful looking to an actual oil-rubbed bronze finish. Any questions on this or any other Reese product, or please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please click thumbs up, please subscribe, and maybe even send the video to someone that you know. Thank you.